When you put so much time, energy, and money into writing and publishing books, it can be incredibly frustrating to see very little money in return. You write and publish books because that's what you love, but wouldn't it be great if your books were actually making you money? Let's take a look at 4 different ways to turn your passion for books into a well-paying career. While many authors are thriving in the creation of their books, far too few of these talented writers are able to turn their work into a reasonable income. But why? Perhaps the market is just too saturated? Maybe some authors just get lucky? Maybe your books really aren't that great? Don't worry, you're not the problem. If you have a passion for what you do, I can almost guarantee that there's someone out there who could benefit from your books. And if your writing is just a hobby for you, then great. But if your goal is to make some extra cash or even make enough money to replace your day job, then there are 4 different paths you can choose from. None of these paths is going to be a quick road to financial freedom. Each road will take persistence, dedication, hard work, and planning. It will require a significant investment of time, energy, and possibly money to successfully monetize your passion. Just remember to be patient with the process and don't give up when things don't work out right away. I firmly believe that as long as you continue to create real value for people, that the finances will eventually take care of themselves. But we can prevent a few bumps in the road by educating ourselves and doing a little planning ahead of time. The 4 big ways to make a living with books are 1. Indie entertainment, 2. Transformation business, 3. Publishing business, and 4. Traditional publishing. Let's dive into each category, discuss the pros and cons of each path, some of the steps required to reach financial freedom, and which path may be best for you. So for indie entertainment, the focus is what helps your readers unwind, disconnect, and escape into a unique and intriguing story world. Indie entertainment means writing and self-publishing fiction novels and stories. Fiction writers who choose to self-publish will need to tackle the following steps towards financial success. Establish and maintain a social media presence, create and maintain an author website, share snippets of completed novels or sneak peeks of upcoming works, leverage paid advertising, including social media influencers, Facebook ads, Amazon pay-per-click, etc. Book clubs, online and in person, promotional discounts and free book promotions, donating to local libraries, guest writing, creating a podcast, YouTube channel, etc. to talk about your writing, what inspires you, what have you learned through self-publishing, etc. Grow in an email list and gather a street team. Create a Facebook group for your fans and street team, and research current market trends and genre expectations, what readers are looking for in a good book. Essentially, the goal of the indie author is to increase visibility and grow a fan base. Now, if we take a look at the pros and cons, for pros, there's no limit to the amount of creativity you can pour into your novel. You can create a unique story world, characters, and events completely from scratch. It may be a world that you and your readers can escape to. You get to choose your own adventure. And along that same line, it's fun. Writing fiction creates an entertainment value for both you and your readers. Now the cons, it is very difficult to get a following, and growing your fan base takes time and consistent effort. If your goal is to turn fiction writing into a full-time income, be prepared to put in a lot of ongoing effort. You'll need to consistently put out new material to increase visibility, including sequels, new series, short stories, writing samples, character artwork, cover designs, etc. Your books are not likely to become a truly passive income until you've established a large fan base and word-of-mouth awareness of your novel has started to spread. This is a very challenging business to scale. Scaling often occurs as a result of paid advertising, which tends not to be very profitable for books. Paid advertising is typically used by indie authors as a way to increase rankings on platforms such as Amazon. Imagine paying $1 per ad that somebody clicks on, and you're only making a $2-3 profit off your book. If a whole bunch of people are clicking on your book and then they're not actually purchasing it, then you actually end up losing a lot of money with ads. Plus, with so much free entertainment available right now, especially free books, it can be really difficult to get people to spend money on your book as a new author. This is probably the hardest of the 4 models to turn into a steady income. Most of the reward comes from creating something you genuinely love and enjoy. It's an inherent reward. Now let's take a look at transformation business. With this one, the focus is what helps your readers or viewers create a desired transformation in their lives. In a transformation business, you establish yourself as the expert on a particular topic, nonfiction. This topic could literally be anything you are good at, an experience you've had, a change you've undergone. For example, you could teach how to develop easy and budget-friendly meals. Perhaps you've experienced the loss of a close family member and want to help people through their own losses. Or maybe you've managed to pull yourself out of debt and want to help others do the same. In the transformation business model, most of your income is not likely to come from the books you write. More likely, you'll promote your books and give away many free copies to increase trust and awareness. The transformation business model relies heavily on sales funnels that look something like this. Content creation, which is social media, blog posts, YouTube videos, etc. Free book, mini course or webinar, full-length course, and then one-on-one coaching. To illustrate how this funnel works, let's pretend that a guy named John would really like to learn how to write a book. You have an Instagram account where you post tips and tricks about writing. John finds your account and starts following you. As you consistently post material, his trust in your expertise grows. Eventually, he decides he would like to learn more from you. He clicks the link in your bio to get a free copy of your ebook, Write Your Book in 30 Days. In exchange for his email, he is sent a copy of the book. Before the webpage closes, John sees a short video of you offering a short online course at a discounted price. So he decides that taking the video course would be a great way to complement his reading, so he purchases the course. Perhaps after completing the course and reading the book, he would like to take his newly completed book one step further. You offer him a full-length course on creating a business around his book. Down the road, he has a thriving, profitable business. However, he hits a roadblock and decides to contact you for one-on-one coaching. Through this whole journey, you are helping John achieve a desired transformation. Not everyone who finds your brand will want every resource you offer. However, as long as you are providing lots of quality and value for your customers, there will be people willing to pay more than just the price of a book. The structure and functionality of sales funnels varies widely. However, the idea is the same. You start by providing lots of free value, which engenders trust and establishes you as the expert in your field. Some people will really resonate with your message and want to learn more. They will be paying for or be willing to pay for higher ticket offers. If you've ever been sucked into a free webinar, I've been sucked into many, you're probably familiar with this idea, and you're probably aware of just how much money people can charge for courses and coaching. The most expensive one I've come across was over $7,000. Crazy, right? But even if you are selling your course for under $100, your income potential is still much greater than it would be if you were just selling books, right? Plus, such sales funnels create a natural and organic way for people to grow familiar with your brand. So some of the pros to this business model is much easier to scale than indie entertainment. Paid advertising is much more profitable because instead of earning a couple dollars for every book you sell, you may earn a few $100s for every course you sell. Plus, as long as you focus on selling digital products, you can create the content once and sell it many times without having to put in any extra effort. This is the epitome of passive income. There are so many products you can sell as part of a transformation business. Books, courses, seminars, virtual summits, 21-day challenges, conferences, merchandise, etc. This increases the earning potential from each customer who becomes aware of your brand. Instead of just purchasing a book, he may also get the workbook and sign up for a 21-day challenge. Cons, on the other hand, there is a learning curve. You'll need to be familiar with marketing strategies such as target audience and pain point awareness, keyword research, copywriting, etc. You have to create quite a bit of content and set up your funnel before you can start making sales. People need to see you as an established expert in your field. You're going to need to earn their trust. Now on to publishing business. The focus here is what are consumers looking for right now and how do I provide a unique quality product? In a publishing business, you are an expert publisher, but you hire others to create the books that you sell, or you create low content books that can be pieced together very quickly. In fact, many people who focus on low content book creation may create and publish dozens of books a day. It really is quite easy. Low content books include logbooks, journals, and planners. On the other hand, long form books usually have at least 30,000 words and include self-help books and recipe books. Most independent publishers focus their efforts on Amazon KDP. As an independent publisher, you'll have to get really good at reading the market. You'll spend a lot of time in keyword research to determine what people are searching for on Amazon and what niches may be profitable. You'll need to carefully search for niches with sufficient demand, but not too much competition. When you find a niche you'd like to try, you'll either hire a ghostwriter to create the book for you, or you'll compile the book yourself. So there is a YouTube channel that I just recently started following, Raydog, and if you are interested in going into the low content niche, he's got a whole bunch of excellent videos about low content publishing. He talks about creating coloring books, keyword research, creating logbooks, planners, making sure that you're finding profitable niches that are not super oversaturated. There's a lot of really great content on there. So if you do want to look more in depth into the publishing business, then Raydog is a great channel to take a look at. He also has an online course on Udemy that I purchased, and I've been looking through that and watching the videos, and that's been really helpful. It's got pretty much everything that you need to know to get started with low content publishing. If you go through the course, then you can go ahead and start creating your books and selling them on Amazon right away. I also posted a link to that course in the description of this video. Now, some of the pros to having a publishing business is that you've got a really, really flexible budget. You can start literally with no money and still do pretty well. It's also pretty easy to learn. It just takes some practice. When you compare it to writing fiction, that really takes a lot of practice, because you got to make sure that you're getting your story arcs correct and that you're writing according to what readers expect from your genre, and that you're making sure that your characters are developing the right way. There's just a lot that goes into it, and it takes a lot of practice. You really have to write a lot and read a lot before you start to become a competent fiction writer. With this form of business, with the low content niche, with just focusing on publishing, if you don't feel comfortable with writing, you're just hiring people to do that for you instead, and you're publishing the books. Or with the low content books, you don't really need to know how to write necessarily. You just need to make sure that your books look professional. Now, cons, you usually need to publish lots and lots of books that each make a little bit of money in order to make a decent income. It's not very often that you're going to have one book just take off with Amazon, because there are so many books on there already that are making a lot of money. So unless you happen to start a new niche that just so happens to be popular at the right time in the market, then more likely you're going to be publishing a lot of books, and each one of those is making you just a little bit of money. Then it also takes a bit of time and practice to find profitable niches and keywords, but again, this doesn't take quite as long as writing fiction or learning how to really become a good writer of nonfiction or fiction in general. With traditional publishing, the focus is how can I present my manuscript in a compelling way to secure a publishing deal? What are publishers looking for right now? What are they looking to publish? In traditional publishing, you present your manuscript either to an agent who then submits it to publishers or directly to publishers. If you secure a publishing deal, the publisher will help you prepare the book for publication and distribute it. The process may look something like this. 1. Create a book proposal. 2. Query literary agents who then submit your book to publishing houses. 3. Sign a book deal. 4. Work with the editor to revise your manuscript for publication. 5. Help with additional pre-publication items, including approving a cover design. And then 6, once the book is published, you'll assist in marketing efforts such as doing book signings. I'd say this was something that it was a misconception for me. Before I started looking into traditional publishing, I kind of assumed that if you went this route that the publishing house would do all the marketing for you and basically your job is done. You just need to be a writer and get your book accepted, and then they would take care of the rest and your book would just sell. And nowadays, that's not so much the case. Authors are expected to be pretty heavily involved in the marketing of their books. And if you want your book to do well, you can't really just leave it be with the publisher. You're going to want to continue to do some work with marketing as well. Now, the pros with this business model is that it creates a very professional end product. Your book has access to all the resources provided by the publisher, including professional editors, cover designers, and marketing resources. Plus, your book has immediate credibility and visibility. If you're publishing a book all by yourself, nobody knows you. How do they know that it's going to be a good book, right? But if they see that your book has been accepted by a major publishing house and it's been published through them, then it gives it some automatic credibility. They know that, hey, it's gotta be at least a somewhat good book because it was accepted into this publishing house. Now, because of that, we take a look at the cons. Number 1, it is very competitive. It can be very difficult to get your manuscript accepted by a major publishing house because lots of people are trying to get their books accepted as well. But if you practice and work with critique groups and make sure you get lots of beta readers and make sure that you're learning the structure of your book and take a good look at the editing process and make sure that you're just learning a lot along the way and that you know how to create a cover letter and a book proposal for literary agents and publishing houses, that you're going to get better and better and you'll be able to create a quality product that publishing houses may actually be interested in. So don't be afraid to try this route, even though it is competitive. Just keep practicing and keep trying, and at the very least, you're going to become a better writer in the end. Publishers are very picky about what books they accept because they are making an investment in your project and they need to know that it will sell. And you need to be wary of vanity publishers. There are a lot of smaller quote-unquote publishing houses that will charge you for their services but don't do much for your book sales. Legitimate traditional publishers will not charge you money to publish your book. Rather, they are looking to make an investment in your project and hope to make money back from the sales of your book. So there are a lot of people that call themselves publishers on the web, and they'll accept your book pretty easily, and then you call them up and they say, all right, great, let's get started. Just pay us $3,000 and we'll start publishing your book. And that's not what you're looking for. They basically, all they're doing is offering self-publishing services. They're preparing your book for publication, but then a lot of times if you want them to actually market it for you as well, then that costs extra money. Plus, if they're retaining the rights to your book, even worse, because you're not even getting 100% royalties. So just be really careful when you're looking for publishers. So in summary, indie publishing is a good business model for you if you love writing and creating and you don't need a consistent income from your books. Because it could take a while, right? So if you're okay, you've got a job on the side, or you're pretty good financially, then this could be a good model for you. Just keep it as a hobby at the beginning and then continue to learn along the way. A transformation business is great if you really want to grow and scale your business, positively influence lots of people, and establish a steady income. A publishing-focused business is good if you don't really love writing but love market research. You can also start here with a very low budget and start making money relatively quickly. Traditional publishing may be for you if you love writing but don't want to handle the rest of the steps involved in publishing, and if you want a very professional book. Of course, even in self-publishing, you can hire professionals to take care of editing, cover design, marketing, etc., but a publishing house will provide those resources at no additional cost. I have personally dabbled in each of these 4 areas, which, believe me, has not been very effective financially. I've felt super stretched thin, especially being a mom as well. However, I have learned a ton along the way, and I don't regret my experiences in the least. I wanted to clear up these paths for you to get a bigger picture perspective on book monetization. Earning a living from books isn't quite as simple as producing a quality manuscript. There are a whole lot of additional steps and pieces to the puzzle that must be in place before you can start turning a profit. Please do not get discouraged. If you love writing, keep writing. If you love publishing, keep publishing. You will at the very least learn a lot from the process and will eventually start to notice what is working and what is not, what your target audience loves and what they tend to avoid. And keep in mind as well that your definition of success may be different from another author's definition of success. For you, if success looks like just getting your books into the hands of as many people as possible, well, who cares how much money you're making, right? You can give away your books for free, you can do book promotions, you can do paid marketing, and making money off your book is not the only way to be a successful author. Just the very fact that you created a book, that you wrote an entire book, that makes you successful, because that's a huge accomplishment, it's a huge project. And taking that book to completion is another huge process that you should feel very proud of, and the learning along the way makes every step 100% worth it. Remember, you are a successful author as long as you keep trying, you keep creating, and you keep learning new things, then you're a success.